With the extra point, this is Erik McKinney, joined by Katz. Greg, through 2 games, ups and downs, 2 kind of eked out wins and exciting there at the end. Your biggest area of concern, even though USC again sitting right now at 2-0.
Well, I don't know if I would use the word concern or anger or frustration, but I don't get SC not taking the ball under center in 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. I don't get it. When you're in the shotgun, you're 6 yards away from the line of scrimmage when you need 1. Arizona took the ball under center. Grinnell took it for a yard or whatever because it was a quick snap and he got the yard. And I think the thing that really frustrates me, which they say frustration is suppressed anger, is the answer to why the Trojans don't take the ball under center. Graham Harrell says, because that's not what we do. I don't get that. With all due respect to Coach Harrell, who I know he knows what he's doing because that's what he does as far as the air raid. But the idea, the logic to me is you don't even teach getting underneath center under all costs. We just don't do that. And then he says, well, because it takes long, it's not hard to do, but we have to reteach it. They don't do it much in the NFL anymore. You know what? I have a hard time drinking that Kool-Aid because it just seems to me that this has been a reoccurring theme the last 2 years. They get into 3rd and 1. They put so much pressure on their defensive or offensive line to get a yard. When look at Slovis doesn't have to be Carson Palmer size. He looks at the defense. He sees where the natural hole is, and as soon as he takes the snap, he dives into it and gets a yard. What's so hard about that? I mean, I can tell you, and I'm sure people are watching this video would tell you, when it's 3rd or 4th and 1, and they start running a slow developing play, we don't even see a play action pass off of anything. Okay. So I think that, in my opinion, it bothers me a great deal when they don't take the ball under center when it's so obvious that they should.
Yeah, and I'm gonna double up on that. But first, I'm gonna make a little pit stop over in Kedon Slovis, the way the ball's coming out of his hand. If that's something that continues, I don't know how you run an offense that's so predominantly a quarterback throwing the ball if the ball is not coming out of his hand and ending up where he wants it to go. So I'm comfortable saying that right now, if that continues, if we see against Utah that, that's a thing of the past and fix, clearly that concern goes away. And then I land on where you are. It's the 3rd and short, the 4th and short plays that they don't feel comfortable running those. It doesn't feel like the line, that they get set up and it's like, hey, we got this every time. And that we have, a handful of plays that we can run consistently. And we know that we're going to get this yard in short yard situations. Every time it feels like, oh, let's try this and see if that works. And that's a problem when you are looking at a season where everyone is putting up points all over the place. You can't give away drives when you're just a yard away from extending it and potentially turning that into points. So for me, until they can show, hey, we have a comfort level here and we know we're going to pick this up and we can do it consistently, that's always going to be a problem because USC is kind of built around this offense right now where it needs to put up a lot of points. And that, again, not getting a 3rd and 1 where you've got yourself in a position to do that. I mean, that when you punt after it, it still feels like a fumble. It feels like an interception. That feels like a turnover when you don't pick up 1 yard, when you've got the running backs that USC has. And the size, it's a sizable, and we've heard many times, a veteran experienced offensive line. And so that feels like something that, again, through 2 games, there are some signs where, yes, they've picked up a few of them, but not enough to where you think this is going to be a strength of an offense where if you're talking about winning a conference championship and eventually getting into the national championship picture, that's got to be something that you do well as an offense. So again, through 2 games, I think that's the spot for me, at least, where it's let's let's maybe see a little bit more from that spot, the third and short, fourth and short ability to convert.